Hi, this is Ann with Finance on the Offense, and today I'm going to go over what an UTMA account is. And I'm just a random person on the internet, so everything in this video is just for entertainment purposes only. All right, let's get started. Long story short, an UTMA account is a way for someone, usually a parent, to give a gift to their kids. And this gift can be money, it can be real estate, stocks and bonds, or even like fine art. And it's tax-free up to a certain point. UTMA stands for Uniform Transfer to Minors Act, and this is something that got passed in 1986. This type of account allows whoever gave the gift or an appointed custodian the ability to manage the account until the minor is of age. It also lets the minor avoid tax consequences on the money until they're that age, which is usually 18 or 21, but it depends on the state. So if you're setting up this type of account for your kid, just make sure you know what age they're going to get the money. Now, there are several pros and cons to an UTMA account. Pros. One main advantage of this type of account is that the money contributed to it is exempted from paying a gift tax, and that's up to $15,000 per year. Another huge advantage of this account is the way the money can be spent, before or after the minor receives it. Now, the money spent has to be used for the beneficiary or the minor, so this can actually be a really good way to teach your kids about money. You could tell them something like, hey, for every dollar you save this summer, I will match that, and then use the money from the UTMA to match it. After they're of age, they get the money that's left over in the account to spend on whatever they want. It doesn't necessarily have to be college expenses or something like that. It can be anything. It's really easy to set up an account, and you can do it with no or very low fees, and then make very fee-friendly investments inside the account, like just buying low-fee index funds with the money. Cons. Because assets held in an UTMA account are owned by the minor, this might have a negative impact when the minor applies for financial aid or educational scholarships based on need. An UTMA doesn't really have great tax advantages like a 529 college plan does, but it does have some. These aren't retirement accounts, so you would need to pay capital gains on the returns. So if there are dividends or interest, you would need to pay taxes on that. But the first $1,050 in investment returns is tax-free, and the next $1,050 is taxed at 10%. The returns after that are then taxed at the parent's rate, which is almost always higher than the child's. As I said before, if your kid is applying for college financial aid, the UTMA counts as their asset. The FAFSA calculates that 20% of a child's assets are available to fund college, but only around 5% of a parent's assets are. So this can work against a child since the UTMA is seen as their asset. After a certain age, usually 18, 21, or 25 depending on the state, the money becomes the child's and they can spend it on whatever they want. It doesn't have to be specific things like college. So basically you'll have to hope that your child will spend the money responsibly at that point. If you want to set up an UTMA, all you really need to do is go to a bank, open a custodial UTMA account, transfer funds to it, and then name a custodian. This can be you or another family member, and then you're pretty much done. So it's really easy to do an account like this. All right, I hope this video has helped you make a decision about the UTMA account. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like this, just hit the subscribe button and the little bell next to it and you'll be notified every time a new video comes out. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.